This is Moon Man number 10, guest starring the most secret Avengers. We have a cover that is lightly traced from some fan art. And this issue is one of the few stories featuring the most secret Avengers that I think is good and works. This series of Moon Man, I actually didn't like it. For me, it undid everything I liked about the run that came before it. I liked them making Moon Man into a violent vigilante and him being considered like a criminal and no one wanting anything to do with his crazy arse. I thought that gave him a unique place in the Marvel line of him being a superhero, but a bad one. It finally elevated him to something more than just Batman with multiple personalities. This issue is really good though. We have art by John Josie, R.I.P., which is obviously great. And this is an Avengers story told from Moon Man's perspective. It is the point of view of someone who doesn't really want to be on this team and he doesn't feel like he fits in with them. He is a loner by nature, but he has agreed to be part of this team. Splash image of the Avengers here, and this is badly laid out. And I reckon I have worked out what has happened. The title is in a really odd place. And if you look closely, you will also notice Ant-Man isn't anywhere to be seen. Even though this is meant to be the whole team. And it is quite easy to squeeze in a shrunken down Ant-Man somewhere on an image like this. And then on the next page it confirms Ant-Man is with them and he is at full size. So I reckon Ant-Man, he was drawn in the middle of this and the editor got pissy that this art didn't leave any room for the title. So just removed Ant-Man and totally messed up the composition and jammed the title in this uncomfortable and unnatural place. You might think this is one of me tinfoil conspiracy theories about bad editors at Marvel, but if we actually gone back, this page has some more terrible editing. We have the narration, we have Moon Man's narration, he is introducing the members of the team, and it's not aligned with the actual character. Here he is talking about War Machine, but it's right next to Ant-Man. Anyway, this issue, it actually addresses one of my issues with this team. And it even acknowledges another one. But we have something else I like in that the Avengers, they are gunning up against a goofy Bronze Age bad guy who would otherwise be made into a joke. But here he is treated seriously and presented as a real threat. He is a pirate man called Captain Barracuda. I think he used to be a Fantastic Force baddie. And now what has happened is he has commandeered a navy vessel and he is holding the crew hostage. He has this magic artifact, a glove that can obliterate things with a blast of air. Amazing art. There is a shocking lack of John Josie R.I.P. interior work for Marvel. I didn't know what he's like with deadlines, but he was able to do 12 issues of Wolfman without a break. So put him on a major book already. Let's pretend that he draws every issue of my imaginary Captain America run, which everybody loves and never wants to end. So here we have another team shot, and Ant-Man is actually there this time. With this team, I complain about how it doesn't make sense, or how it fails to live up to its central premise. How it is meant to be a stealth team, but they do very little stealth. And then they have parts of the team that contradict that setup. Stuff like Velcro being the opposite of quiet, or Moon Man running around in a bright white costume. Well, as you can see, for this issue and this issue only, he dons a black costume to be stealthy. It is never used again, and it doesn't look good. But at least this book is aware of how the most secret Avengers team is a load of bullshit. And then here, he points out how Velcro flying around on a fucking horse just defeats the point of them supposedly being a stealth team. I honestly would almost like the comic just for pointing these things out, but it is a good story too. The rest is action. The Avengers board the tanker to stop Captain Barracuda, and they fight his crew of pirates. Moon Man, he is tasked with freeing the hostages, which makes internal sense since he isn't much use against a pirate man with a magic glove that can fire columns of compressed air at things. We get to see Ant-Man, the Derek Sullivan version. We get to see him shrink down and gan into Captain Barracuda's mouth and pull on his tonsils. I am a big fan of Derek. I didn't think I have mentioned before. He was one of the last new characters I invested in, and then I got to see him pointlessly killed off after 5 or 6 years of Marvel successfully building up and establishing this character. So we get to see Derek Sullivan, but this story is a lot more about Moon Man, so we didn't get to see all the Avengers do much, but there's just enough to keep you in the game. Like here, we get to see Velcro smash through a wall with a horse. It's Moon Man's comic. He should be the focus. Then we have one last gasp for Captain Barracuda. He has the magic Seaman on, and he blows the Seaman's horn, and it summons Seaman monsters. But then the book contracts DC disease, and the Seaman monster isn't that important, and the issue ends not long after that, with Moon Man coming to realise they make a pretty good team. I've not had much to say actually. I recommend this if you are an Avengers fan. I like that it approaches this team from a logical angle finally, and I like the art, and that it just plays a forgotten about minor villain straight. Also, Black Star wasn't in it because he was never a member of this Avengers team. I'll give this a 7 thumbs up.